everybody, it's me, Laura, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of dolphin fun. Yep, we're going to be coming back with some freeform sculpture today, and I'm doing my dolphins, and I'm so excited, yes. I love this stuff, what can I say? Anyways, I'm going to show you really quick here my tools. I give a little list in my tools and materials thing over there, but the first, or I should say the left half of this screen is my normal tools. I've got my ball tools in the center, and I've got a few tools on the right side. I don't use that often, and I'm going to use that in these dolphins as I create them. So the first one here, I'm just creating this ball. I take this wad of scrap clay, or in this case, I just had some gray clay. I thought, why not? Create this long log, and then I'm using my hand to kind of press it down against the surface of my tile. Now, I'm sure many of you are like, okay, where is the measurement, right? Where's the measurement on that ball? You know what? When I do these freeform sculpts, I don't do a lot of measuring. I do some, but I'm like, no, because I mean, we're taking a ball, we're creating this like, I want to say teardrop form. I'm putting it at an angle, and then I'm just going to come in with like more like teardrops, or even like tailored little snakes on both ends, whatever I could come up with, and put this piece together. And in that regard, this is why I call it a freeform sculpt, or just where you just randomly do as you will, right? And in doing so, when you go to create the other pieces to this, and dolphins are fairly easy. It's really a matter of teardrops. That's really what it is. And because I'm making pure teardrops, you know, it's going to be the fins here at the bottom of the fish, and then fish. Well, I know they're probably mammals, right? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. I do not. I'm not a big animal person. I mean, I kind of am, but not. So help me here. Anyway, I just go ahead and start forming using my tools. You're going to see a lot of me using the standard tools here of my needle tool, my Burnisher, my Exacto Knife, my regular firm tissue blade in this particular sculpt. And even though I use those standard tools of mine over and over again, this sculpt is a really nice way, or I should say the sculpts that I do in this fashion are a nice way to bring in tools I usually don't use. And it gives me, you know, you might say it gives me the excuse of, yay, I'm finally using a tool that just sits and collects dust otherwise. And that is awesome. It's like, yay! Throw the party in the air, yeah. Anyway, from here, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys watch my hands talk as I create this first dolphin in polymer clay. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and start creating our second dolphin. And you could tell here, I took out the ruler and measured, woohoo! So 4.5 inches long of this long teardrop that I've got going, and again, angled. This time I'm going the opposite direction of my other fish. I wanted to see what it would look like. Okay, would there be much, I mean, these things are such that they're all going to be different anyway, because you could come up with all sorts of different designing. It's kind of like Zentangling. You just sit there and you start doodling and doodling and doodling, and you just enjoy the moment of creating. And in this case, that's exactly what I'm doing yet once more. Once you've got that pure form of the teardrop body down, really it's, sorry, I'm going to say this. It's like a party in a box, right? Sorry, personal thing here. The husband, yeah, that's what he says. I'm a party in a box. Anyway, sorry, personal thing. TMI, TMI. But I just go ahead. I use my needle tool, and I just keep creating with different designs and different forms as I create this dolphin. So have fun with this. When you create these particular freeform sculpts, remember it's just a simple teardrop form. If you start with the simplicity of something, it's much easier to go from there to create that animal or whatever you're making. Now, the one thing that I loved about some of these more obscure tools that I don't usually use is their handles. This is where, they have a wonderful little texture on the side, and it was beautiful in this case. I just thought, I'm going to take a log, I'm going to press this down onto it, and you can use this into the creature here. And it was just a nice added extra bonus, if you will, when you use these tools. In this second dolphin, when I started creating it, I really brought in the ball tools here. I didn't really do that so much in the first one. I kind of just used my Burnisher, and part of it was because the tools I had that I was using on creating that first dolphin was pretty much my standard tools. I really didn't take out, a lot of, except for, the more obscure ones. I used a little bit of that, but I didn't take out my ball tools. And so the second time around, I thought, no, we got to bring in the ball tools, because other than my circles, it's really, when it comes to indenting with those ball tools, it's a nice form. The teardrop forms work in concert so well with that. And as you could tell here, I brought out my Burnisher and I created some little teardrops, a nice way to take more teardrops and introduce that in towards the eye. So from here, again, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys just watch my hands talk as I put this second dolphin together. Okay, so now we're going to start painting our first dolphin, and I'm going to start out with my midnight blue. I am not going to my black matte paint. I'm only really going to save that, I think, for the eyeball. We'll do that there. But for right now, we're just going to take the overall sculpt, and it's been baked at 275 degrees or 300 if you used Keiko. Sorry, Kato clay, and you bake that then for about 15 to 20 minutes. Anyways, right here I did the overall piece in that midnight blue, which is a metallic, and then I came in with my blue flash, and that's what the underbelly is being painted. Then I went around on the edges of the little fins here, and I used my blue violet flash. It has a little bit more of a gold tinted nature. Not really so much, you would think of a blue violet, which is strange. It's kind of a weird one, but I love it. And then I decided to bring in then my aqua flash. And this was like the perfect, nice, kind of marine type look that I wanted for my fish. And so that's what I'm bringing in here. So overall though, the main paints I focus on here are going to be the Folk Art Color Shift paints. And they are as follows: green flash, aqua flash, blue flash, purple flash, blue violet flash, and then I've got the pastel purple, and then I bring in my metallic paints of my midnight blue and my blue sapphire. I also come in with my white and my black matte acrylic paint. So that's the other part, and that's mainly for the eyeball. At the very end though, and you're going to see me do this, and I can't get away from it, I use a white Posca acrylic paint pen, and it's beautiful because sometimes I need to have that extra detail, and I'm using the very detailed, I want to say 0.7 millimeter tip. I love that thing. Beautiful. It gives me tiny dots, it gives me some nice little line, and it works really good when I go ahead and use it. So from here, once more, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys just watch my hands talk as I paint up my first dolphin. Now we're going to start painting up our second dolphin, and this time around I decided to stick pretty close to the whole blue idea, you know, the bluish tones. So I decided to take out my green flash. I was going to use that. And I also took out more of that purple kind of thing. There's a little bit of purple in this, but not as much. I decided to go with the blue sapphire metallic on the top. And because this one was not, to me, it wasn't as, full of detail as my last one. I don't know why I think that, but for some reason it just is in my head. But I loved the curls I had done on the sculpt on this, especially where the eye, and I've got that those little snakes coming off that eye. I loved that feature to this particular dolphin. And I thought instead we're going to stick strictly to a more of a blue palette. So the metallics I used here were my midnight blue, of course, as my foundation, and then I came in with my blue sapphire metallic paint, all right, and then also my aqua flash, my blue flash, and my pastel blue. And other than using my white and my black acrylic paint, just the plain matte stuff for the eyeball, I really didn't bring in any other kind of, different kind of color like the green, right? Instead, I also used my white Posca marker. I love that thing, I really do. And it just creates such great detail in here, especially, in this particular dolphin, when I used that white Posca, I got a little bit more brave. I need to be braver with it and use a little more line. And I did that especially when it came to the line in this particular dolphin around the head part and around the tail. It made a big difference. I like using the dot feature. I did a lot of that with that first dolphin, but bringing in a little bit more line is a lot of fun. And it really balances out kind of all those circular little tiny dots too. So from here, I'm just going to go ahead and let you watch my hands talk once more as I finish up my second and final dolphin. All right, so this is the end result of creating my dolphins in polymer clay. Please use this for study and reference. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I'm always wondering what you're thinking. Otherwise, I am sending out my biggest hugs to each of you, and I hope you have a fantastic day.